We're ready to roll here. It's 8 o'clock. Let's call the finance meeting to order. All members are present. Steve Egg might ask to be excused. So I'd entertain a motion to adopt the agenda and approve the minutes as published.
I'll move.
Jeff, second by Dover, to adopt the agenda and approve the minutes from the last meeting. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, motion is carried. Anybody here for public comment?
Yeah.
Seeing no one, we'll move on to the monthly administrative reports. Financials, the medical, dental, and the overtime. Paul, you're gonna tell those?
Sure. Financials, our last sales tax collection in December for November was 132,457. Year to date, 1,434,000 and change, and we're about 26,000 behind where we were last year. So we got 2 months to go. Typically, our biggest month is in there, but it looks like we're going to be level or slightly less than where we were last year. Still well ahead of the budget, but it appears to be actually leveling off. Last year at this time, we had 1.461 million. Again, our biggest month really depends on Christmas shopping, so it's a little unknown. It's unpredictable. No contingency requests. I don't expect any, so the year's going to end up the way the year ends up. There were no new department items that popped up other than the ones we've either already addressed or we already know about, and none of them are big. So if we can jump to the medical dental reports, I did get those, I think the day after I sent out the agenda. These are for October. November isn't available yet. And they did confirm that the information coming from Centivo is a little slower right now. So instead of 3 months behind, this one's actually 2 months behind. So both medical and dental are trending well, as it has been for most or all of the year. And I'll jump to overtime right away. The overtime report I sent out with the agenda included the 2 payrolls that were processed in December. Today's payroll, January 3rd, the pay period for that is actually all in December. So I have to do a journal entry to accrue that back because our payroll system can't or won't post any date other than the check date. But for financial reporting, those are December expenses. So I have on the table, I handed out an updated version of it. That includes the expenses for overtime that will be paid on today's check. There are still 3 days left, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It should be the 29th, 30th, and 31st. I don't expect a whole lot there. So this is pretty close to what the end should be. Are there any questions on any of those?
Questions, guys? Okay. Yeah, thank you, Paul. Moving on to item 7, the approval of the fee schedule from the highway department. There's a copy that was included in the packet. Talking about fee adjustments or changes that would be required from the highway department for any work or access to or on county highway. And Marty, these fees have been approved by the highway committee and have been forwarded to the finance committee. If there's any specific questions, Marty is here. You can answer. You put a lot of work on these, and I think they're going to help us get a little more revenue. Questions?
I make a motion to approve the fees as presented on this in the packet.
Is there a second? Second. Second by Jeff. Okay, it's moved by Doak, seconded by Jeff to approve the proposed fee schedules as recommended by the highway committee. Any discussion?
It's really, Tom, you said about making more revenue, so what is the major change of it?
There's some increases in what the permits were before to what they are now, and then there's some new permit requirements or fees that are on here that have not been collected before.
Okay.
I know Marty's done a comparison to what other counties have done, and this pretty much falls in line with what other counties are doing.
Thank you.
If there's no questions or discussion, I would ask for a vote. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, hearing none, motion is carried. Thanks, Marty, for all your work on that one. Okay, item 8 is approval of the final two insurance premiums for the year, which are the storage tank facilities and the position bonds for the elected officials. There's a copy of that in front of you. Any discussion on that issue? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve those two insurance renewals as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Moved by Paul, second by Doak to approve the insurance renewals for storage tank liability and the position bonds. Any discussion?
I have a question. I had circled this one, the under liability for workers comp or liability by itself. There was an extra 250. Is that true?
Yeah, that's not changed from last time. I've got it highlighted. It's not actually on the invoice. There's sometimes where a certificate has to include the property owner, like we have equipment on towers, so the tower owner is included. It's not on the invoice. It hasn't come through yet, but I know that there's 10 of them. It's gonna be $25.
But I mean, this is addition to what we approved. So we are approving that plus the other two?
That was approved with the liability.
I just
did-
that's why it was highlighted. on
Yeah,
this
because
one.
I haven't gotten that one yet.
Okay,
I just
so
know there's 10 of them coming, so the approval process was done. I don't have an invoice or
the
anything.
250 is already approved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other questions, discussion? Otherwise, I would ask for a vote. All those in favor of the motion for renewing the insurance premiums, saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, hearing none, motion is carried. Well. Vendor payments, those were available online. If there's any questions on any of the vendor payments that were out there. If not, has everyone had an opportunity to look at the supplemental payroll? Is everybody signed it? It's floating around here somewhere.
Which way is it going there? Just released.
By the way, I like the summary page. It really helps.
That is nice.
Yeah.
All right, I'll remember that for the future.
Yeah, very good.
But work this out.
Yeah, there weren't any issues with it this time. It actually cooperated.
Wonderful. Okay, I would ask for a motion to approve the supplemental payroll as presented.
I make that motion.
Moved by Doak. Second by Paul to approve the supplemental payroll. Any discussion? Not all in favor, saying aye. Aye, opposed, hearing none, motion is carried. Any other matters to come before the committee? Jeremy, you have anything?
I do not. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to address, but we can't take any action or do any, get any deep discussion since it's not been noticed on the agenda.
Anything, Dave?
Nope, nothing right now.
Any other committee members have anything?
Is the status in a wraparound house, is that kind of
That's kind
tied
of
up
on,
with this?
on hold right now until we figure out what this new law, how it's gonna affect what the county actually has to do. So are we gonna have to invest more money than we thought in that project? And if so, is it feasible to move forward? So that's in progress. We can. Okay, if there's nothing else, our next meeting would be the first Friday in February, which would be February 8th, 8 o'clock.
7th.
February 7th, I'm sorry, you're right. February 7th. 8 o'clock. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Jeff, second by Doak to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, hearing none.